And I have audio, yeah. And video looks good. Let's check the other camera. Come on. Here we go. Cool. Howdy, folks. Thanks for joining me. My name's Dave. It's another Twitch Tuesday, ready to turn some wood. I appreciate you joining me. Today, I am exploring a different idea. I've seen a couple of different wood turners turn different kinds of styles of tops, and got me thinking about a few things. So I want to turn some tops today. What I have down here, let's see. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. So I have a bunch of CDs, and I mean, it's almost old technology. I don't have a CD burner. I have a CD. I've got a drive, an external drive, but the computer, at least Apple, doesn't provide a drive anymore. I don't have a DVD burner, and so I was like holding on to these, and I'm figuring, what the heck am I going to do with these? Well, the ideas that I saw are pretty interesting. I'm going to try a couple of them as I go, but this was my take on the idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn some tops, and this is going to be the weight, and we'll turn the handle and the little point and all that. I think it'll be fun. I turned one earlier. Come on, yesterday, to see how it would look, and I thought it might be pretty cool to play around some. So let me actually wander into the house here really quick, and I can actually grab this guy. So this is the top that I turned yesterday. One of the ideas that I have seen several times is setting a little ball bearing right in the center instead of just turning a point. And I have to say that that works really, really well. So I got some ball bearings. We're going to be doing that, and then turning these, um, and just having some fun, man. Don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but that's okay. The way I did this was I used contact cement, gluing the pieces together through the center here will hold all that together, but the contact cement won't come apart. And I didn't have to worry about like making sure everything was perfectly centered, because this post in the holder just fits this perfectly. So set these out, spread contact cement on them, put them together, set them down on here, and now everything is lined up as it should be. But this one, the first one I turned though today, I think I want to trim it down a little bit, so I'm going to do that. And I think I may go with this beech just for the heck of it. So let me set these aside somewhere, hopefully, if they're not going to be in the way or fall off or whatever. And I want to trim this guy down. I did take a look and see that it does actually fit here on my live center, and it doesn't come all the way through, so I'll be able to back this up to this right here, and I can trim that pretty easily. So this one I'm going to trim down a little bit in size. I think it's DVDs are made out of plastic, and some thin metal for the where they actually encode the data. That's hey, nice. All right. Whoops. So I can't take a heavy cut because of the way it's being held. It would just spin on the centers. It wouldn't actually turn and let me cut it. But so I may have to adjust that as I go. And I also don't want to take a heavy cut because it's just contact cement that's holding this together until I get the pieces glued in place. That's some pretty stout plastic there. I haven't turned one of these yet, so I thought it might be interesting to see how that how it turns, so I know or have a better idea of like different things I can play with as I'm turning it. And it's turning that resin, but then the metals, little metal film that's embedded in there is stuck in the shavings, so it looks like a sparkly. Um, it looks sparkly. So I think I'll take this down a little bit more. And as always, it really helps to have sharp tools. K14 said, "Potty grinning face with cowboy hat." Hey, how you doing, Mav? How much of that rain did you guys get? We got some floods here, man. Hopefully things are okay in your neck of the woods there in Wisconsin. Yeah, tough stuff. Said, "You know I wouldn't miss this." Well, thank you. So I've got some CDs that I've got glued together that I'm going to use for the main body or spinny part of the top. I watched one guy use a brass washer. And I thought, hey, that's a really good idea. Mav K14 said, "A crap load in Milwaukee." Oh, okay. Yeah, they're saying that. I mean, it's not raining at the moment, and I guess we're going to get rain again the weekend. But between now and then, hopefully, the snow melt, or what they're calling the snow melt, and all that stuff will have drained enough. We got bridges washed out and roads shut down, and I did not expect that here in Traverse City to see that. Okay, let me see. I want to see how big this is now. I'm going to take it down a little bit more. So even with these CDs, I think that if I wanted to, well, I mean, it's plastic, so I could use acrylics or whatever that would bond to this plastic if I wanted to add color or designs. Right now, I'm just kind of playing around with the idea of making these tops in the first place. I've got a couple of ideas I want to try. I don't know. I think I might be able to. Man, I could almost turn this stuff into fishing line. I bet if I braided it, it's such strong plastic, the shavings don't want to break up. It's almost like super long. I mean, it's almost like what you'd find, since we are not the best stewards of the environment, what you'd find on the seashore. Pretty stout stuff. All right, so I think that will be a good size to start playing with. So it is, wow, it's like a mini CD now. So it's I've taken off almost 3/4 of an inch total. So 3/8 on each side. Well, 3/8, but it gets doubled, so why not? How many sides are on a circle? One. Okay. Only one, Dave. Okay. So we'll take this piece of beech that was once a table leg. Beech is some pretty good, pretty stout stuff, so I like turning it. When I was working in Lyle's shop, turning handles for his tools, I subcontracted to his to his company to turn handles, and most of the time I turned them out of beech, and then stenciled his name logo onto the onto the handles. So many of the handles that I did are out there being used, which is really cool. All right, so that's close enough to center on that side. Let's see what I got here. So I could take that down a bit. Just gonna more or less center it up. I'm not gonna get super anal about it because I need to turn the handles and stuff. I don't want to take away too much of the material by turning it. But you know what? That'll work right there. That'll be fine. So let's make sure it stays secure. Okay, it's me. Let's just take this down a little bit. Let's get it as centered as we can. Without having to punch. There we go. Without having to punch any center holes or anything like that. Make sure it's nice and secure. Okay, I'm going to move that CD stack set away. So I just used 3 discs. I thought 2 was not quite enough and 4 was too many. And I think that the one that I've already turned has really nice weight distribution, so it does spin for a good long while. And hey, man, I'm repurposing things that not a lot of people use anymore. I can't remember the last time I recorded a CD. Jesus, if I think about it, though, I probably can. I just wasn't thinking about it. Alright, so I think I've got just a little bit of a burr on this guy, so we'll work that off. There we go. That'll work. All right. So I'm feeling like spring might actually be coming, although I'm not going to hold my breath yet because the bees are getting to be really active. But it is still too cold at night for them to do much and for me to do any kind of splits or anything. So it's a little too high. So I got some feed on them today, 1-to-1 sugar. Help boost them up while we're waiting for the nighttime test to come up. So I can do splits, and I'm not gonna kill any of the brood by not having enough bees in there and not having the right temperature to start them with anyway. But I'm looking forward to the start of the bee season for sure. All right. And I also figure, let's go with that. And I can practice my tool skills while I'm doing this. And let's see, my tool rest is still a little high. Right about there is where I wanted, I think. And then let's see, that will be a good place to cut it there. Let's roll that over like that. And then I can work on, where's my parting tool? Oh, parting tool, there you are. And set that somewhere, there it is. I've got my calipers set. Can't quite get in there with that yet, but I need to, there it is. Make a little bit more from here anyway. kind of undercut that just a little bit so it'll sit flat on the surface right there. And now I can part this off. Before I do though, chamfer that edge. And then I will use this parting tool. Let's see, do I want to do that? No, I wanted to actually make this 3/8 of an inch. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So I need this guy. Okay. I really would like to get another set of these, but finding them with the thick arms is next to impossible. They're all real thin stamped metal now. I don't want to give this one up because it's so sturdy. I have another one that's just much more cheaply made that I don't like using. This is a lot sturdier for the purposes that I use it for, but I'd really like to find another one like this. That would be nice. So let's go 3/8 of an inch. So basically I'm making a tenon that's going to go up through the center and into the handle. And that's how it'll all glue together. There we go. And we'll work on that undercut a little more. There we go. That should be just right. And that is a good thickness for these CDs, so that works out too. So now what I want to do with this guy, and I don't know, I think you might be able to see it with the camera here, but I'm going to go for it anyway. So what I want is a little place that I can hook onto um, after the fact. Let me think about that. Do I need to do that? I really don't need to do that. So I can port this off. And that will be done. Okay, cool. That works. So that'll sit flat. That's been sanded. We're all good. All right, let's try it that way. I see that I kind of raised up the grain on that. There we go. Let me finish, because actually what I should be doing is setting this up for pin jaws. Let's just go with this guy. That's a ball gouge. This is a spindle gouge. And then the skew. The only difference is the shape of the tool. The cutting edge is facing the same direction and at the same angle on it, all the way through, so it doesn't matter what tool I use. Right now I'm just using the point to take this down. Now I'll use the edge. Okay, so we'll say I can get, I'll say I can get 3 tops out of this dude, right? Let's see, there's one. And so that's the handle for that guy. So it's about that much, so I'll just cut this in half. Somewhere in there. Now, with the magic of the pull saw, in this case, it's also a flush cut saw. And we will saw through those tenons just like that. And let's take this out here. So I've got a couple different timber species. I do have some maple burl. What else I got in here? Let's see. That's maple burl. I've got some cherry in here too. That's more maple burl. That is beech. I guess I don't have cherry right handy. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is cherry burl. Yeah. Okay. But right now I'm working with beech. Okay, let's bring this guy out. And hopefully it won't be so... No, I do need to clean that. Hopefully it won't be so glitchy that it will be annoying. We don't want that. Who's got the key, Dave? Where did you put the key, Dave? Unless the key fell off. That's always a possibility. I just knocked it off. There we go. You know what? I think what I will do is I will do this. And now I'm going to put some of these tools away because they are getting in the way. Okay, that guy goes in there, that guy goes in there. Saw goes over here. Okay, cool. Okay. So I want to work my way down here. Because I need to have the space to do that. Oh, oops. Whoops. I need to fix that. I forgot I need to have a little bit of a turn to go through the CDs here, which needs to be. Did I adjust this? I did adjust this, didn't I? Shouldn't have. There we go. Oh yeah, thank you very much. I always keep my eye on the fact that this is rotating. That's why I got these sleeve dudes on so that the sleeve won't get caught. It's short sleeve, but getting used to having this on, it's kind of a little bit more armor. Not that things come off the lathe, a lot they don't, but I tend to cut myself on the left side for some reason. I think that is all right. Let's clean that up some. start the overhead, right? Okay. That's also another reason why I don't wear gloves at the lathe. I don't want anything getting caught in any of the spinny parts. That you can't really see from there, so I'll do it from here. Alright, guess I gotta go for the top here. Normally when you're using a skew, you want to have the cut happening on the lower third, lower quarter. You want to be less than half, and you don't want to be going above the halfway mark on your, however wide your tool is. You start getting into catch territory. It doesn't stop you from turning the tool over and getting a different angle on your cut, but also with the right practice, I can cut way up there on way up here, and I'm not really violating anything because I've done the practice that I'm not going to get a catch. And I often when I'm working close to the headstock, we'll use the toe of the tool to get my beads, since I'm so close and I can get a longer reach with that. And now, this is a little too tight for my skew. Clean that up. apply a little bit of abrasive here. Now I'm going to double check my hold here because I need to drill a hole. Let go. Did I put the saw over here? I did. Oopsie daisy. So next one I do, I might drill the hole first and just part this part off. Let's see how this works.
K14 said, "How are you doing?"
Not too bad, man. I am really looking forward to the end of winter. It just seems like it wants to keep hanging on, and I want it to go. So, but other than that, yeah, doing good. Just having some fun right now. What do I do with it? There it is.
Everyone is tired of winter.
Yeah, I think it's time for it to move on. And I was watching the weather patterns, watching the ice and snow still moving through Canada, man. I was like, holy cow. Okay, let's move this. I finally got my replacement handle here. That was an interesting experience. Oh, I should double check this while I got it open. Okay, so it is a really good fit, which is what I was hoping for. All right. What I was shooting for. Oh, I don't need this. I don't need you, sir. I have this guy. Nope, wrong guy. There you are. You are getting in the way, so you need to move somewhere else. Out of the way. There we go. See how well this works. Well, color me surprised. All right. It actually worked out really well. There we are. Okay. So we'll set this guy up. Oh, that's what I forgot. The white glue. Let's get that. 8:30, 8:40. So this is about what? Oh, you can't see what I can see. It's getting into dusk, so having a better idea of when, or rather, I can see that the days are getting longer, and it's going to be awesome. I like the summers out here because it's daylight till 11 o'clock. Okay, so this is not a super tight friction fit, so I'm not going to score a little channel in there to get the glue out, or allow for the glue to squirt out. I'm just going to let it do its thing. There we go. Now, oops, I forgot to wipe off the nozzle. Now, move that guy, move all this nonsense. This over here, and this over here. Okay, that works. So I'm going to let that sit for a little bit, and I'm going to move on to the next one right after I leave a little detail line in here. Where is that guy? Let's use that guy. So detail line on top and the bottom are really close in diameter. They look like they match perfectly, but they might be off a little bit since I'm looking sideways at it. And then, that's right, I needed to spot, or do I now? No, I'm good. I don't need to make a tenon spot on there or anything like that, because I'm not going to spin it back around. So I'll take this out of the chuck and we'll move on to the next one. And I'll mark this guy. What do I got here? Let's see, that's number 4. So this is either 1 or 2. There's probably 1. It's got to be 1. 1 and 4 go together. No, they don't. Not on this one. It's 1 and 2, I think. There's 1. I guess it is 1 and 4. I always pick the jaws that are closest to where I have my keyway. And usually I pick 1 and 4, or I think on the Vic Mark chuck it's 1 and 2 that are next to each other. Yeah. No, sorry. This is also 1 and 4. So I was remembering 1 and 2 for some reason. 1 and 2. Oh, because this chuck is 1 and 2. But usually I'll be either at 1 and 2 or 1 and 4. I'll make that mark so I know where to go back to. So we're going to set this guy aside, let that glue set. But essentially there's a top. I just have to cut this off and then set a ball bearing in there and then cut this free. But that last little bit I'll need the chuck for, so we will set this guy aside. All right, next piece. Let's go with this guy. Let's see, it looks like it's thicker there, so just a wee bit. move you back. So I know that's not running true. And we're going to fix that. Now it is. Okay, so we did the skew and the small spindle gouge. Let's go with the bowl gouge and the small spindle gouge. So bowl gouge. Nope, you're another spindle gouge. You're the bowl gouge. Actually, I think you can see this. I'm cutting on the upper wing here. I'm not cutting on the lower wing. Cutting on the upper wing and getting a really sheer cut. And this doesn't have to be really tall. And I want a little bit of room there so that I can trim that away and be able to put a ball bearing in there. So let's do this guy. Like that. And then that'll be my way in. So what happened to my, there it is. Well, I need my 3/8. I've got 1/8 of an inch to go. Bingo. Undercut this a bit. Because I want this outer edge right here on the outside to sit flat on the CD. So I got to undercut that a little bit. I don't want to try to make a flat surface and then set it on another flat surface because it's just not going to work out right. Might be all right for a little while, but eventually it will not be a happy making thing. So. Nope, it won't work. So back to this guy. Chamfer that edge. Take this in. And I can part that off later right there. Now I can work on this dude. So I want to roll this edge. And I'm using the top wing there. That's too much, so I'm going to take off about, actually, let's get that skew back in here. I'm going to score this line. Nope, too thick. There we go. Now I can shorten that quite a bit. Oh, actually, I can't even do that yet. I forgot. We need to have a bit of a tenon that's going to go through the CD. That would be this guy. Transfer that edge. I'll undercut just a little bit. Doesn't have to be much. That's probably not even a 16th of an inch. So now that will all fit together. I just have to want to cut that loose, drill that hole. I'm going to double check my hold here. Oh, look at that. Tighten down just a bit. Because eventually I'll have to take away this tailstock. Okay. So that's what's going through. So, bowl gouge again. Cutting with the upper wing. This time it's that one. Getting a really nice surface. Maybe roll this over just a bit, chamfer that a bit. And actually, at this point, well, all that will be in the way. Never mind. I'll drill it in a minute. Let's get this guy worked out. That should be about right. Just using the tool like a skew. We just happen to call this one a pull cut because the handle is leading the cutting edge in the direction of travel, so the handle is sticking out in front. So it's a pull cut. I mean, in reality, there's only two kinds of cuts you can make, I guess. I mean, when you break it down, it's bevel supported and not bevel supported. Those are the two kinds of cuts you can make. Inside of that, there are basically four cuts you can make: a push cut, pull cut, scrape and shear scrape. And then inside of that, there's only three shapes you can make, and that's a curve, a straight line, and a V cut. All of those combined give you all these shapes that you can create on the lathe. So this little guy is going to be a little bit bigger ball than the last one. So we'll have it up just a little bit higher so that more of the sphere shape shows. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to bring that down to that right now. That's as far as I'm going to go until I drill this. Then I'll turn the rest of this while the CD bit's still on there. But let me at least sand these parts that I'm not going to touch again. In theory. And I think I'll leave detail marks off of this one. Let's get this little screw taken care of. I don't guess I got to do a whole lot on that side because I still have to take this down. So what I'm trying to do is get away from where the CD is going to be spinning. I like birch wood. It's just a really nice kind of a neutral toned wood, and it accepts a lot of different finishes really nicely. It is a nice wood to turn. Oh, I'm not going to part that off, am I? No, Dave, you are not. You're going to cut it off. And I think some of these might be pretty cool at the Crooked Tree art show, art fair. And hey, man, it's a good time to actually talk about that. Why not? So July, third weekend in July, I think it might be the last weekend. I think it's third weekend. Anyway, in July, every year in July, Traverse City has Crooked Tree in Traverse City has a art show. This year it's down at the Howe Center, but they've moved where the setup is to a different part of the park, where now everyone pretty much should have shade, which will be really really nice. And the people walking through, I think, will enjoy that too, because it gets to be pretty hot sometimes here in TC in the summertime when you're walking around and that. Yeah, anyway, I think it'll be nicer to get people out to the art show. But the Turning Club will be there doing demos. I won't be because I'll have a booth. But if I didn't have a booth, I'd be doing turning demos at the art show. Something I'll be doing at the Empty Bowls gig here in a couple weekends. Okay, that's sturdy. That's sturdy. Did I put away the drill? I did. Did I? I did not. Where'd it go? You are askew. So I don't need you. Oh no, I'm dropping things. Uh-oh. All right, you don't want to drop all this stuff. That was a piece of wood. Where's my drill? And I knocked the camera, didn't I? Yep. With my big noggin. Okay, I gotta find this drill. Where'd it go? Ah, there it is. You know, if you take your time, that ain't a bad thing to deal with. So this is a very super tight fit. That is not going to be workable, so I'm gonna have to adjust the size of this guy with my sidewall scraper, which is right here, which also has a fresh edge. Yay! So that should make this fairly easy. Hey, stay on the lathe there, Hoss. There we go. I think I need to use that 1/4 inch skew. Yeah. There you are. So we'll put you down there also. just going down that inner sidewall to straighten that hole out, make the sides parallel. There we go. Could I go deeper? Yeah, I can go a little deeper. And I should. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this guy. And then I probably, well, let's put some CDs on there. See, that should be the right thickness. We'll see here in a sec. That is a perfect fit. Okay, so I see that I'm going to need to take that off a bit. So let's do that. Oops, hey now. You're supposed to stay tightened down. It's probably still a little high, but maybe not. Okay. Come here. So I need to take my skew down just a little bit more. There we go. All right, cool. That's what I was after. All right, so now I can bring this guy back. While the rest of my tools fall off the lathe. Or maybe I should say while my lathe gently weeps, while my guitar gently weeps. I don't know. That run back into the hole there. That'll be covered up anyway. Whoops. Oh, drop the glue bottle. Okay. Whoops. What happened there? Oh. See, air was leaking out. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. Spindle gouge. Let's go with the one that's large and in charge. You can't see that, so let's go here. Hey, I'm too high for that spindle. Yeah, it's too high on the tool rest. That's better. Perfect. Not really any different than working with a screw. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? You pop back with a screw. Same angle for the blade or the edge, cutting edge. That's the only difference, is it's just a different tool. Always keeping my mind on the fact that this is spinning around and around really fast. And I don't want to get caught up in it. There we go. Lovely. Okay, so now that I've got that, actually, now that I've got that, hold on. Did an experiment once as a kid, putting a disc of cardboard onto the hand wheel of a sewing machine. It's just like this, and it'll cut through wood like nobody's business. So I'm also keeping in mind that this is going by really, really fast, and it's plastic. It'll build up heat really fast. It'll take all kinds of skin and stuff off really quickly. I don't want that. All right, so let's clean up the edge of this dude. And then I want to slightly chamfer the edges on that plastic so there's no sharp edge there. we go. Get rid of all this super strong plastic threads. Man, I could almost, it's almost strong enough to weave a fishing net out of. Okay, so let's mark this guy. This one is 3 and 4, 3 and 2, so this should be 1 and 4. And I can get that back in there, turn this off, and add the ball bearing. So that one's done. There's the key. Set that one aside. And I don't know. I mean, I've thought about painting these. I'm not sure if I want to do that. I want to see really how the light from the CD kind of plays with, or rather the bouncing off the CD, how that kind of looks off that reflective layer. Okay, let's go with this guy. You know what, before I do that, you know, this wouldn't matter if I did it this way. So I'm going to, where is it? That's not it. That's also not it. Oh, that one would work. No, nope, that one. Give the CD a little bit more, the glued CD is a little bit more stability. See, I don't want to do that one. I want to do this one. So I've got a couple that are mirror on both sides and then just mirror on one side. And I think that I will make this the top this time. And I'll have a little bit more support for that guy. A little bit smaller. That's a lot of plastic. All right, so let's get this guy out of here. It is like a rat's nest. Or what was that? The Easter grass stuff. Come on. let's back off. All right, let's get that off of there. There we go. That one's good to go. Here we are. Okay, so this guy, it's got a hole in this end. That's where the tabletop screwed down into it. So what I'm going to do with that is I'll use this for the tenon that goes up and in. So we'll cut the other side from here. But let's get this guy set first. Screw it up. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to extend my quill that far, but hey, it's not running true anymore. Where'd I put you? Or did you fall off? Oh, come on, man. What the heck did I do with it? That is the wrong set of calipers. So maybe they did fall off. Yep, they sure did. Magnets. Yay. Okay, we went through spool gouge and spindle gouge, skew and spindle gouge. Now it's just going to be spindle gouge and spindle gouge. And this guy, this time will just be a bead, I think. small bead. And then get in there with this guy. And round that over. Like that. Move you up there. Getting too many tools up here. Way too many tools. All right, that's a really good fit. Now what? Oh, yes. Oh, look at that. All right. Already turning true, so I don't need to do anything there. Okay, let's go with this guy. Oh, looks like the Automat held a chat for a reason. Probably somebody getting cheap viewers. Sobermock.upe. Cheap viewers. Hey, thanks for Sobermock for coming out and joining the channel and participating in chat. I appreciate that. Ooh, that's not how I wanted it. But you know what? That'll do. Let's see. Let's do this. You're not up there now. Nope, it's because you're right here. Okay. 3/8. While my lathe gently waits. Okay, and I will just do this. Saw is over here. That's not much to remove. Bot head. There we go. Got the hole drilled, right? Do I need to increase that hole? I do not, but I need to cut a groove in this guy because it is a tight fit and I want that glue to squeeze out. So we'll just cut a little channel in here. Let's see, I think this might be a better. You see that little channel right there? I just cut out with my knife. That's so the glue can squeeze out and I don't get a pressure built up trying to push it on. Okay, this was going to be the top side. Well, it looks like I didn't have to worry about that so much. Did I get that edge? I don't remember. I don't think so. There we go. Hopefully that's not too thin for what I need to do later. Oh yeah, yeah, I've done that too. Actually, I have somewhere. I have a four-legged stool. It stands about that high, 3.5 inches high. Every single leg and stretcher was turned on the lathe. The seat was turned on the lathe, and it fits in a slightly oversized pill bottle. And so I took it to my doctor's appointments a couple of times because I said, "You're going to ask me for a stool sample?" Well, no, we don't need to do that right now. Like, well, okay, but I brought one. And they'll give me a look, and then I'll bring out the pill bottle with the little bitty stool in it. And so there's my stool sample. Hardy har har. Oh my, that's interesting. So that went a little too far, did it? Looks like I am going to turn a new handle for that. Let's see, and I'm going to hold on to it where? Looks like right there. Looks like my hole that I drilled for the tenon, or not my hole. This is the hole left over from the where it attached to the table. I forgot that was going to be there. So let's see. How do we do this? We are going to do this. We're going to do that this way.
Matt K14 said, "I'm a proud chicken face that knows his boundaries."
Okay, so I'm going to stop on that bit. Oh my, this is going to be interesting. Hmm. Yep. Yeah, I thought that would be a problem. All right, so I just cut that loose. No, you need to go all the way through it. There you go. And let's. Oh, that's fabulous. The hole isn't even centered. Okay. Then I am doing a couple of things here. First off, let's get rid of that guy. And that pretty much disappears, but that's all right. We're going to, let's see, now I need to make that hole more centered, which should be okay, easy to do. Let me mark this guy. Let's see, which one is this? That's 1 and 2, so there we go. No, that's 2 and 3. We don't want that one. We want 1 and 4. There we go. I hate doing this, only because it's a little bit difficult to get things right back into perfect center sometimes, but here we go. Let's see, where is there we go. I'm trying to set this up with the grain in a way that it doesn't look terrible. Not that these marks will show up real well, but they will show up. Ah, this chuck drives me nuts. It is definitely time to get a new chuck with a new set of pin jaws. Come on. Let go. Yeah, you're not set all the way down there. Come on now. Let's see what that looks like. That's close enough. Okay. So this hole is not centered. So to fix that, I'm going to use my skew here. See how that looks. That's not bad. So then that guy, I can cut that down and it'll fit right in there. And we can glue that up. And then when everything is set, I can turn around and turn that off. Yes, this works. Wrong side. There we go. Hey, it's actually running through. I was curious if it would, because sometimes getting them recentered is just a pain in the butt. Let's see. I think I need to have enough room to get this dude in there, and there we go. That should be good, right? Maybe a wee bit more. Yes. Groovy. Oh yeah, baby. That'll work out really nicely. Okay. So now that I've got that going. Where'd you go? There you are. Let's make this guy a little bit more pronounced. Like that. And then bring this guy. In fact, we'll go with this dude for fun. Really light touch. I had this conversation with an older friend I've got who's just starting out on his wood turning journey, or getting ready to actually. And he wants to try to get his wife involved. Kind of joking, saying, she's what, 110 pounds dripping wet and smaller than me, and I don't know if she'd be into. I'm like, oh no, we can adjust everything that it'll fit for her body mechanics. It's not a problem. Well, she's not really strong. I said, well, that's okay too, because wood turning is mostly finesse. You don't need, if you're white knuckling it, you're not doing it right. You shouldn't be white knuckling it. Okay, set that guy down. So, in the near future, relatively near future, hope to be hanging out with him for some time. And teaching them both how to turn. And he also said he said the same thing. I have another friend who said the same something similar, not the same thing. It's like, I would love to teach my wife, but she doesn't believe me. Like she thinks I'm gonna mess with her or something like that. So it'd just be so much easier if we had somebody else, come in and teach her, because then I know that it won't be, you'll be the outside expert. I said, yeah, I get it. I've got another friend. It's the same thing. It's not a big deal. No stress. Make it a no stress thing, man. But I get it. I mean, when I was married, um, I was most often not right. I was always wrong. But she didn't want to entertain anything else. So that's the way that goes. All right, so a little bit of glue here. A little bit more glue here. There we go. That's what I'm after. And then and glue that together, and I'm going to spin it so it's centered properly. In theory, anyway. Oh, I see. It's still not exactly centered, but I'll still be able to turn this guy. It's not perfectly centered on the handle. I didn't quite get that quite right, but it's not like so far off that it's going to be a big deal. So this one's all set to go. So I can let this one set aside and dry. And the handle's fixed. Yeah, we're good. That's that one. All right, let's see. Let's turn another full-size one. Do I want to use that, or do I want to use? Let's see. That was all beach. This is also beach. This is beach. Oh, let's go with this cherry burl, man. Let's see what that'll look like. What the hell, huh? Oh, I'm sorry. No. Yeah. I'm gonna turn this, and we'll find out. It's either maple or cherry, one of the two. The colors are very, very similar in the burl, so it's kind of hard to tell at this point, for me anyway.
MavK14 said, I just got a perfect acorn on my wood turning game.
Hey, cool. I don't know what that means, but awesome. Perfect acorns are always good. Okay, I need center. This one might be interesting. How do I want to do that? I want to have a center here, so let's do this guy. Oh, something like this. Oh, something like that.
MavK14 said, it's a game that has a lathe and you make stuff.
Well, that's cool. I didn't even know that they had games like that. I guess I'll What's the name of the game, man? I'll look it up because I'll play that. Sounds kind of silly, but yeah, I'm a wood turner. I'll play that. Okay. And then this guy, I think we will just make it like so. And then.
Math K14 said, Woodturning 3D.
Okay, thank you. I'll check it out on the Play Store or whatever. Nice. So you are turning. You are wood turning, just not like. Yeah, that's cool, man. Whoops. No, Dave, you're not supposed to drop it. Hey, but I got the whole set. All right. So this is a piece of burl wood. I'll set this dude up and see what we get. And in this case, I think I need to extend the point on this guy. So I can find my center hole. Come on. There you go. Now let's make sure that we are secure because this dude has got some bark inclusions here and some fungal inclusions, but I might, okay, this I didn't hit with CA glue. I think I hit this bark with CA glue. Actually, this would be a really good time to actually go and grab the thin CA glue and just hit that so that all stays. Looking at 10 o'clock, not bad for time. Turn this one, and then I think I'll turn another little, I'll finish off this other little birdhouse, I think. Okay, well, it's soaking in, so maybe I didn't. Excuse me. And then we'll hit this stuff because this is fungus. Which is why I want to say this is cherry, because I'm finding this fungus more in cherry than in maple burls. A lot more often in cherry, actually. See if that will soak in. It did. Okay. All right, so that is the extent of the thin glue I think I need. The neighborhood barky dogs are out. Okay. You know what? I think I will go with longer tool rest. There it is.
Mac
Oh man, that
said,
CA
Jack
glue.
Russells are the worst.
Yeah, this is a Beagle mix, but it's like a mini Beagle mixed is with something else, and it's not the dog. The dog is not the problem. It is the owners of the pet of the animal that are the problem. Well, that's too uneven, although I could do it. We'll just make it go faster this way. That was interesting. Good Lord! Why is everything loosening up? Now, is everything going to stay stable? Where is it? There it is. Yes, okay. Yeah, this burl wood goes every which way. All right, let's just do this. Yep. Put that down there. Well, clearly the wood wants to be cut in this direction. Now that's me. That's some pretty wood. All right. All right. Is that a flat spot? No, but that is. not supposed to leave yet. Too thick. It's still a little thicker than 3/8, I think. Just not even a 16th of an inch. All right, got this magnet. Let's see. Hey, all right. It's no. Come back here. Magnet power. Okay, it's a little bit thicker than. Still just a tiny bit over. Front chamfer. Flight chamfer there. Right up into that little tenon right against the face of this. Got a little chamfer there. Okay, now we got this guy. All right. Let's make this guy a sphere. I think it's cool they have sphere cutting jigs. I think that is really neat. Um, I didn't know that they had them before I started teaching myself how to do this. But I think if you're gonna do something, you got to do a lot of those, and maybe a sphere cutting jig would be helpful. But in some ways, I'm a cheap ass, right? I don't want to have to pay money for tools that do I really need them? Yeah, maybe in some cases that tool might speed a certain aspect of something up, and then maybe that might make sense to me to spend that money. But if I can turn it without having to do that, I think I'm better off. Okay, so I need to be out. Let's see, I think I'm going to right there. Where'd you go? There you are. Oh, I was afraid of that. That's right. All it did was break at that joint, so that'll still be salvageable. So I can see now that there's a bar conclusion, kind of like right in the center of that beast. Interesting. All right, so I think I'll go from this side. I'm at the point where I have to put both of these in a chuck, so I will do that. once I find, there it is, that wrench. And then toss this dude back up there. And we'll go with this guy first. Come on. That's interesting. Oh, I see what happened. Wow, that's a trip. Okay, so what happened with this guy is that when I cut that away, it released the stresses and everything kind of bent. So this is not straight anymore, even though this is fairly straight. The stresses in the wood, once I cut down past that surface, caused this to be tilted a little bit. That's interesting. I don't think it will affect what I need to do here. Okay, I want, what do I want? I want this parting tool. Well, I didn't expect that to pop off, so I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful with this timber. That's also assuming I can actually find this now. I may have to do that over. Do I? Yeah, I may have to do that over. No. We don't want that. Where are you? Where'd you go? Where did you go? You should be right on the top of something. There you are. I think that's you. Oh, nope. That was not you. Oh, hell. All right. So I guess I might be starting over with, or cutting a different piece for that, because now I can't find it. It is lost forever in the shavings. Maybe. But probably most likely it is gone forever in the shavings. Yeah, all right, so I'm turning a new one. At least it won't take very long. It still sucks. Having to redo it.
Agatis said,
Hey, man, how you is? Glad you could make it. Very, very cool. Right now I'm looking for a piece that popped off. I didn't mean to cut. Didn't mean to cut all the way through it, because I normally don't, but that little bit just peeled right off. Yep, it's gone forever. All right, I'm done looking. I'll just turn a new one. It kind of blows, but it is what it is. Okay, glasses. I will take this guy. I hate it when that happens, man. But no, oh well. Let's see. I want. Is it this guy? Yes, it is. Come on, man. What is the deal here? Ah, okay. And then the sidewall scraper. This hole will be through. Dang it. I don't know, maybe that's a bit. I don't know. Maybe this one is fine. Okay, let's move these guys out of the way. I don't know if that's gonna play nice. Come on, get back up there. Sit, stay. There we go. I think that is as thin as I'm gonna take that because I ran into that bark inclusion on this end. I don't know what else might be hiding in here. Man. You know, this is actually not maple. This is black locust burl. I did not know I had any. Holy cow. No. This can't be black locust either. I know it's not maple. Hey, I could get the black light. I know this isn't maple. I recognize this wood. I've turned this a couple times. This burl wood is really, really, really hard and brittle, almost like plastic, actually. Wait, what did I come in here for? Oh, came in here for that happens to me a lot. Walk through a doorway and oh, why was I going through the door? Where is my black light? There's that guy and that guy. UV light. Here we go. think that's the right way. It might not be the right way. Let's try that way. Putting the battery in, I forget which direction it needs to go. That way, okay. So it's not really fluorescing, so I mean, it is a little bit. So I don't know. I'm not sure what this is. I know I've turned it before, and this stuff is really, really brittle. It's really strong, though. Just have to be careful. For a handle for a top, it'll be just fine. I think I saved this little piece. Oh, I know why I saved this. I've had this around for a while, and I was going to make a fountain pen out of this piece of burl wood, but it's top now. I don't remember what species this is. But it is really pretty. Okay.
Abatus said, "What type of wood would it be if it fluoresced?"
Well, it could be any number of them. I was thinking it might be black locust because that fluoresces. There's quite a few woods that fluoresce, and the most common color is a green or a yellowish green. There are a few that will fluoresce a little red or pink. Some that do a little bit of orange. Honey locust is more of a greenish yellow. But most of the woods that fluoresce um, are fluoresce in a green or a yellowish green. And so there's some that are pinkish and red, some a little bit orangish. Don't believe I haven't really seen like a pure yellow one yet. But you can find a list online. There's lists online people have gone through and discovered these woods that fluoresce, and they have a list of those online. I think that the fluorescing wood is pretty awesome, actually, because I didn't know that was a thing until recently, or not recently, but until I was turning and found that out. And that wasn't really recently. But I think that is as thin as I want to take that. Well, oak doesn't normally fluoresce, as far as I'm aware. Not that every pallet is made out of oak, but oak is one of the ones that doesn't fluoresce. There's a whole lot more species that don't fluoresce as opposed to that do. Shit. Oh no, that's right. I can actually finish this whole thing. I was thinking, crap. I just screwed up because I don't have a way to hold anything, but I don't need to hold this anymore. This can come off. I just wish I could remember what wood this is. I just know it's super hard and brittle, but it can be really nice to turn. Whoa! Don't fall over. Okay. If I remember right, too, this stuff, that actually, I swear it looks like cherry. It just looks like cherry to me. But that doesn't mean I'm right. It is some kind of burl. That's what I know. Okay, let's do this little guy. And how do I want to do this? Let's see. I can turn it around now. Yeah, that'll work. I'll move that over there. Let's grab this guy. Oh, be still my beating heart. No idea where that came from. It just popped out. Came out of my mouth. I think that will be deep enough. Let's check that. We say ball bearing. Yes. Very cool. Don't want to lose that ball bearing. And a little bit of this guy. But not much. Need that guy. Easy there, Pilgrim. There. There it is. Magnets are my friend. Okay, let's move that away, that away. I've got that now. So let's go ahead and... Where you at? I'm looking for you. Here you are. I'm looking through you. don't look different, but you have changed. I'm looking through you, you're not the same. Da, 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 da. Now you're just being a butthead. Start over with a new hold on that then. You are crooked, my friend. Come on. Still not right. Come on now. How about that? And then that. There we go. Got it. You don't look different, but you have changed. Ah! You're kidding me. Damn it. Well, that was that bar conclusion that just destroyed itself. So, you know what? I'm going to turn it out of this piece of poplar. And we'll have the poplar on the bottom for this guy. Because I'm kind of done messing with that piece of timber. There. Yeah, right. You're the one saying I'm swearing like a sailor, and you don't know that I can swear. I think you're fibbing, man. See if I got a nice rounded shoulder. Yes, I did. Very cool. All right. I'm looking to you. You're not the same. But the words are clear. Too much vibration on that. Ow! 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 That hurt. Ouch! 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 Ouchie! Ouch! 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 I just pinched my finger with the pliers. Right on the inside between fingers. Pinched very sensitive skin. And I just lost that drill bit. Ow, that hurt. And there's a blood blister there.
Why did you do that?
Well, that's a good question. That's a good question.
That doesn't sound enjoyable.
Not so much. Ah, yeah, I got a nice blood blister coming up there now. That's a bummer. Oh well. Ouch. Man, that hurt. Mm, that still hurts. Subcutaneous blood blisters. Always my favorite. Okay. So that guy needs to move up there. Damn, that hurt. I gotta take that down, so we'll do that. That's about right. You don't look different, but you have changed. Oh, nice. It's nice when they leave, but boy, does it hurt when they show up. Goodness gracious. Okay, be careful with the pliers, Dave. Clearly, you're trying to hurt yourself. Well, okay, that's not true, but trying to make a joke out of it. Test fit another ball bearing. I don't know where that thing went, man. Okay. Magnet. So we don't lose that dude. It's a little too deep. But the words aren't clear. Okay. You don't look different. What? I gotta clean that out. Okay. Now you should fit. Okay, cool. Alright, let's do this and then this. I see. Now I took a little bit too much off. Of course. Alright. Now we'll just do it this way. Now let's see. Perfect. Okay. One of those, boy, that stings for about 10 minutes. Holy mackerel. It's never fun getting your fingers pinched, man. Especially on the tender skin. Ah, man. The integument is important. Okay, get over there. We go. Let's take this. Wait, what am I looking for? My accelerator. There we go. Push that in a bit. There we go. Too many things in my hands. There we go. There's that. Okay. Yes, I like it. I'm looking for another piece of abrasive. There we go. And then I'll do a little bit of that action right there. I don't have to worry about that. And that's bigger than 3/8 of an inch, but I want to see where I'm at. Oh, I got quite a bit. I knew that. Exactly. You're not the same. Let's see. How deep was that hole? Where did it go? There it is. So 1/4 of an inch. So I will take off that much. Now, let's see. I think I can get the short point in there. There we go. If she fits, she ships. Oh, I see what I should have done and did not do. That's a duh on my part. All right, so I think that I'm actually getting a little tired, so I am going to, I think, make this my last guy because I'm starting to make some mistakes due to lack of concentration, being a little tired. So I think I'm going to quit talking for a couple of minutes probably so I can focus. I always want to err on the side of safety, and I'm not I'm getting to that point where my brain is not quite firing on all cylinders, so that means that I want to stay safe. That means I need to do something about that, and that means shutting this down later here in a bit. But we're close to the end of the broadcast time, so that works out well too. Okay, I think that's deep enough. Let's check this one more time. Not with that ball bearing, which I can't get out of. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I tossed it into the trash can, but I can use that for a different top. I just got that tenon the wrong size, that's all. That's about right. Yeah, what the hell? What the hell? Don't you go anywhere, too, man. Goodness, man. All this stuff's just jumping off the lathe. Too many things to pay attention to. Let's see. We'll use that. You know what? I'll use the long point for this. And that's all I need to do with that guy. Alright, now, before I screw this up again, let's see what size tenon I actually need. That would be 7/16. Okay. And that is 7/16, baby. Alright. Need to glue that dude in. Leave that alone. Let's bring the magnet back. So I have something to hold on to this tiny little ball bearing. A little bit more. So this one I will just twist by hand. I think that should be deep enough now. Yes, perfect. I'm looking through you. You're not the same. Okay. Then this guy.
Said, here's a dumb question. What is the boba ring for?
The what? What is the boba ring? I'm not sure what a boba ring is.
Abatus said, ball bearing.
Oh, ball bearing. Okay. It actually lets the top spin. I'm turning tops. using old CDs. And so the ball bearing will go in the nose in the top, and it's a lot less friction than just turning a straight point. And it'll last a lot longer than just turning a straight wooden point. I saw this somebody else doing this. I never thought of using a ball bearing in the center before. I've always just turned the point. I forgot to hit this with accelerator.
Abatis said, "Ah, I see. I was wondering what you were making."
Yeah, I'm making a bunch of
Abatis
tops.
said, "Ah, that makes wood work better and last longer."
Yeah, here's one that's actually finished. This is one of the tops. Let's hit the other camera. And so that's what I got, that ball bearing in there, and it spins for a good long time. There's no friction really as much as there would be on a piece of wood. Um, so that ball bearing is a really good idea. Wish I'd thought of it, but I didn't, so I'm borrowing it from somebody else.
Abatis said, "You should spin it up with your rotor and see how long it spins."
What I want to do is I'm going to turn a fork, and then I'm going to wrap that with string, and that fork, put it up against the handle and pull that string. I did it yesterday with my fingers. I did it last night, and it spun for, oh God, man, like 5 or 6 minutes on the counter. It
Abatis
just kept
said,
going and
"Wear your
going.
safety squints in case the CD blows apart."
Yeah, right. I don't know if I want to get it up that fast, but yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that should be the correct diameter. And I only wanted about that much. So let's chamfer that edge by rolling that over. Where'd you go? Where you are? I don't know where you went. Where did you go? Ah, there you are. If I hadn't had my hand right there, I'd have lost that one. I should have cut this one off instead of parting all the way through, because now I got to trim this, and it's very small. And I just made myself some more work. All right. Now let's double check that fit. That is a good fit. And now guess what? What did I do with it? Did I grab one? Yes, I did. I turned one. What'd you do with it, Dave? Oh, Dave. Or did I? Did I not turn? I thought I turned a disc for that. I should have two small ones. I've only got one. So where did that disc go? Where did that thing go? And this is why I think I should stop turning this evening, because I'm losing track of shit, and that is not good. That is not good. That means that... Oh, I do have two small ones. All right, so I didn't. Then I did not actually turn another one. Okay. Oh, no, you didn't. Okay, there it is. And that tenon is not long enough. Good God. All right, you know what? I'm going to turn one more, because that is not going to work. Oh, my goodness. That's all right. I'll work through this, man. It's just one of those days, I guess, where I'm getting close to 11, but that doesn't, I'm usually up till 2, 3 in the morning, but for some reason today I'm getting kind of froggy. Or foggy, not froggy. Let's see. And if I do this, that'll give me that. Ah, nice. That's not the right diameter, is it? That is, though. It's very close. Knowing your limitations is a very, very good thing. So we'll make this turn longer. And I know that that is not 7/16. Probably closer to 9. Hey, look at that. It's
Abaddis
9.
said, I know my limitations, and yet I always seem to ignore them.
Well, sir, you are not alone. You are not alone. But I really do try to pay attention when I'm turning because it does require focus. It is an inherently, and I've said it before, this is an inherently dangerous task, right? You've got a piece of rotating equipment right in front of you that you're applying tools to, with a piece of material that may or may not stay in there depending on how much work you did, making sure that it was secure. And it is a natural material, so there's always going to be differences even in the same log. And again, why I tell people, man, you really should err on the side of caution. If you're getting tired or you're not thinking straight, that's not going to get better by you forcing yourself through it. It's going to make it worse. I don't want it to be worse because I'm at the lathe here. I don't want to injure myself. I've already done it with a pair of pliers, not with the lathe, but yeah, that was kind of funny. All right, let's measure this dude. Okay, so I'm right there. So I need to have that much. So I'll put it right there. Now let's measure that again because we should measure twice and cut once, not cut twice and measure once. Don't ask me how I know that. Or you can, I guess, ask me how I know. Wrong tool. There we go. Okay, I think we're ready to go after that guy. What is that? That's a pencil mark. Like, what is that? Where'd that mark come from? Oh, it came from you, Dave. Remember, you're the tired guy. Already you forgot you put a mark on this? Come on now. Alright, so that will be my spot for the parting tool. Let's get another ball bearing. Good thing I borrowed 100. I've already been through 27 of them just for this one little guy. Okay, only 3, but still. Do I need to go deeper? Oh, I haven't even done that yet. Yes, Dave, you have to go deeper. You haven't even, all you did was start the hole. You didn't actually do anything with the hole. Okay. How does that fit? Oh, is that going to be nice? It's going to be very, very close. Come on out of there. So I need to do, where is it? There it is. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Where'd it go? That's it. There we are. Let's grab this dude. I don't want to lose that. One, two. Oh, yeah, it was three. I've got two of these. And then I can use for other tops. Glue. There's the glue. Yeah, try not to go past my limitations, but I do the same thing sometimes. I just try to power through it, and it's maybe not always the smartest thing, but in this case, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. Well, I'm not having to power through it. I'm not that far gone, but I'm starting to fade, and it's like, yeah, now's the time. What gives here? That hole was made. What is the deal? What is plugging it up? Glue again. There's the glue. Come on. All right. Ball bearing. There we go. Whoopsie daisy. Oh, I think I'll let some of that glue out. Okay. So move these aside. That's good, but got a little bit of glue on the surface, so do something about that. A little bit of glue on the ball bearing too, but that's gone now. And then let's put that magnet away. Ooh, don't want to lose that. Yet another drill bit lost in the shavings. That would be not a good thing. Come on. Okay, handle, CD. And oh, this is one of the CDs that is, okay. There we go. So I'll glue this together. And then what am I thinking? And then I'll wrap it up. Actually, I'm just going to wrap this up. So let me set this aside. Let's turn that off. Come back to here because we're right on time anyway, so that works out. It is 11 o'clock. So, all right. For those of you that made it in late, I'm not aware, don't know who I am. My name's Dave. Howdy. I'm a wood turner. I started turning as therapy for PTSD. Found out I had a knack for it. Fell in love with it. Started teaching it. Found out fell in love with that too. So I started this channel to become a better teacher and a better demonstrator, but also a better turner because the secret sauce to all this is practice. There's no shortcuts. And I got to tell you that if you're white knuckling it and hanging on for dear life, you're not doing it right. I would be happy to help you out because wood turning is mostly finesse. You shouldn't be beating yourself up at the lathe. And that is how my teaching style kind of works with that too. That whole idea that we work within your own personal body mechanics to get you set up the lathe that is most comfortable for you. Everyone is different. So, and everybody moves differently. Everybody has different physical issues, physical limitations, physical whatever. So I work within all that, help you to get the movements down so that you can start learning the correct muscle memory and then start working from there. And again, it's just practice, practice, practice. I would highly encourage you, if you're interested in turning and haven't started, find a local turning club. Our club here in Traverse City, we are open to anybody. You don't have to be a wood turner to be part of the club. I'm guessing that most clubs are kind of like that. We actually do have in our club, we've got a potter. I think we have one potter, but we do have, oh, come on, don't lose it, Dave. You're just telling you, I'm even more tired because as I'm talking, I'm losing track of what the hell I just said. Um, Flat borders. We have flat borders in the club. They don't turn, but it doesn't matter. We want to have that camaraderie. Want to allow for people to experience things. We do the demonstrations of the club and all that. If you're interested in wood turning, find a local wood turning club. Um, don't blindly follow YouTube. A lot of YouTube is for the views and not the safest thing. There's a lot of turners out there that don't do so many safe things. There's even turners on Twitch uh, that I understand people watch. They have an accident counter on their screen in the background, and I find that bizarre. Why? Why would you want to? I don't get it because you've got a piece of material that's spinning really, really fast. In my case, like the slowest speed is about 400 RPM. That's enough to wrap me up in a lathe. It's enough to wrap anybody up in a lathe. And the machine doesn't care if you scream, right? So you have to focus. You have to have that attention. And if you start doing crazy shit on the lathe, and yes, I know I just said the word shit, but when people do crazy things just for the views and then people copy, it's when people get hurt. I started off myself watching YouTube, did some, and fortunately, I was watching some European turners, and these turners primarily use scrapers for everything. And it's a perfectly valid tool. I use scrapers. I got a bias early on working with my mentor. The scrapers were not a good tool to use. I mean, it doesn't give you the finish and blah, 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 like just stuff. There was a bias against those tools. And I weren't working against that. I don't have a bias against any tools except for the ones that I've tried and don't work for me or that they're just crappily made, and I've tried them out. I don't want to have a tool bias that says that scrapers are not good for turning. Scrapers are one of the first tools that when wood turning became a thing, long, long time ago, scrapers were the main tool that they used, and now it's mostly bowl gouges and stuff like that. But you can do a lot of stuff with a scraper. and there's nothing wrong with turning with it. Now, when I was watching YouTube and following those things and they were scraping, I wasn't using a scraper. I was trying
Abaddis
to
said,
use
I don't
bowl
think I've
gouges.
ever thought about using a scraper.
I've used bowl gouges and spindle gouges, and I did use scrapers trying to hollow things out, trying to emulate what some of these European turners are doing, not realizing that they've been doing this for years, right? And they just go right at it and do it. And a little bit of a language barrier, so it's a little bit to have to wade through. But that's how I started. And then I found that there was a turning club here in town, and I got hooked up with the turning club. Then I got hooked up with Lyle Jameson, who became my first mentor, who was the president of the club at the time. And I started working with him in his shop for a couple of years and getting a lot of really good instruction and all that. But he had a very heavy tool bias, and no scrapers, no chucks. I mean, there was a lot of things. And I picked those up kind of unknowingly, and I just ignored scrapers for a couple of years because yeah, scrapers, they're not a, no, they're a wonderful tool, and if that's all you use, so what? It doesn't matter what tool you use if you're getting the results that you want. I do practice a lot with all my tools. I can turn a bead with every single one of my tools: scraper, a skew, a parting tool. I can turn a bead. Spindle gouge, of course, I can turn a bead, and a bowl gouge. And I'm not being facetious. A bowl is the outside is the bead, the inside is the cove. Beads and coves, beads and coves, beads and coves. That's something that you should practice on a regular basis, even if you're bored. Just do beads and coves, because almost everything that you're going to turn is going to be beads and coves. And really, there's only three cuts you can make. You can make a straight cut, you can make a V cut, or you can make a curve. And then with all the other, the four types of cuts, and then basically um, the two main categories of cuts, which are supported cuts, bevel supported, and not bevel supported. Inside that, you've got push cut, pull cut, scrape, shear scrape. And inside of that, you've got, come on, Dave. Uh, I'm gonna have to let that one go. Sorry, I'm fading a lot quicker than I expected. But it's all really simple. It's just, I say that, but there's a ton of pieces to the puzzle. Give yourself the permission to practice, the permission to make mistakes, because otherwise you're not going to learn much. Mistakes, experience is the best teacher, but to get somebody to teach you the right way to do it in the beginning, and then you work with your body mechanics and how your muscle memory and all that stuff works for you, that's when you make it your own. But you need to get the instruction first. Don't wing it. This is You can get hurt. And I'm not trying to scare away anyone from wood turning. I just want people to understand you have a rotating piece of equipment with a piece of material on the end of that thing rotating while you're applying tools to it. And if you get a catch, that thing could fly off. Your tool could break. I mean, there's things. I've bent tools, I've broken tool rests. I broke a banjo one time. And this is like when I first started turning. I didn't know what I was doing. So don't follow YouTube blindly. Mike Mahoney is an excellent turner to watch. Lyle Jameson, my stuff on YouTube, also the same. Uh, if you're on Instagram, Dave Dalby, who posts a lot. Steve the Woodturner, good, good, good. Not necessarily instructional videos. It's that you can see that they video the process. You can see how they do it, and then it's the practice is up to you. I have been practicing enough that I can pretty much watch somebody and see how they're doing it. Then I can take it to the lathe. I don't have to get like specific, like how do you hold the handle, how do you turn it this way, because I've done enough practice that, with all of the tools, that I understand. All right, I can see. All right, he's using a bowl gouge. What shape is he making? I understand. Okay, these are the shapes that I can make with a bowl gouge. Um, and so then I can figure it out from there. But in the very beginning, I didn't even have that. and I had to learn. And I'm really grateful that I got hooked up with Lyle Jameson because he's a very good teacher. I learned a lot, but I've taken it and run with it on my own direction, which is something everyone should do. You should run onto your own direction. What do they say? What does it used to say? Um, the sincerest form of flattery is copying somebody. And that's I'm paraphrasing because my brain just isn't quite working yet, but we're quite firing all the way. Um, Emulation is the sincerest form of flattery, is what I've heard. And in the beginning, you should do that. If you have a teacher showing you how to do the tool, how to handle the tools, and how to make the cuts and all that, you should emulate that. But then once you get that down, work within your own physical framework to make it your own. How do you do that? That's time behind the lathe. It's practice, 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 and that's something I'm going to say all the time. I'm never going to say, yeah, there's a shortcut. This is how you do it, because there are no shortcuts. But I'm happy to help you if you're in town and you want to get some instruction. Let me know. Contact me. I've got links in the bio on Twitch
Said,
and on
imitation
YouTube.
is the sincerest form of flattery.
That's it. Imitation. I wasn't getting it right. Emulation, imitation. I guess it's, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, in the beginning, that's something you should strive for because you're trying to learn the techniques and the tools. But once you get past that and you get those down enough that you can go
Said,
practice,
Oscar
that's when it
Wilde.
becomes your own. Oh, that was Oscar,
Said,
wasn't
yeah, I
it?
had to look it up.
Yeah, that was Oscar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was the guy that said, you know what? I don't want to live without my emotions. I want to master them. I want to enjoy them. I want to experience them, but I don't want them to master me. I think that's awesome. Someday I will get there. All right, folks. Oh, yeah.
Dang, that is a good saying, too.
Yeah, 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 yeah. He came up, he was a smart guy, very smart guy. Regardless of what, I mean, everybody has their vices and whatever. I'm not even talking about that. He was a smart guy. So yeah, but yeah, yeah. There's some good sayings from different people. Then there's always, Einstein and whatever else. But anyway, having said all of that, it's time for me to wrap it up. Um,
Said,
I
I guess I am going down the Oscar Wilde rabbit hole today.
That might actually be kind of cool. Uh, I was gonna find a movie to watch, but you know what? I think I'll just go study, go play around with that stuff. Order of the OTO, yeah. Anyway, having said all that, I've had a lot of fun this evening. I hope that you did too. And hey, thank you, Abbas. I appreciate that. I am really pleased that people find value in this broadcast and they keep coming back. Thank you very much for the support and the follows. I greatly appreciate that. I want to reach as many people as I can because wood turning is relaxing and fun, but it takes a little bit to get there, right? It's like anything new that you start, you're going to have a little trepidation, a little nervousness. It's no different than turning at the lathe. But once you get those things, a few things under your belt, there's always pieces of the puzzle to add. But once you get those under your belt, and you can start taking off and feeding that instant gratification that is in all of our heads by creating something on a lathe in a matter of hours, right? That's pretty close to instant gratification. Here, I just turned four tops in a couple hours talking through the whole thing. Yeah, a lot of fun. It can be, but again, it's mostly finesse, and you can get there. What I do, you can do. Maybe you can't do it now, but you can get there. I'm not some special whiz, whatever. There is no such thing in the wood turning world that I've ever heard of. There's no savants. There's nobody that said, take this and go to that lathe and turn something to somebody who's never done it, because you're not going to pick it up right away. It's just not going to happen. Everybody starts off at the same spot, ground zero. And that's just the way it is. Some of us may have had some experience in grade school or high school when they had those programs available in the curriculum. They don't have them anymore. No shop classes. You have to go to a tech school now. But when I was growing up, it had all those. I didn't get any wood turning when I was in those shop classes. I got welding and flatboards, um, plastics and resins, which I got in high school and grade school, playing with plastics and resins and thermoplastics. We don't do that anymore. I learned so much just on those classes. But you don't, I mean, so there is some people that got to would turn a little bit maybe when they were much, much younger. But that's not, I mean, there's a lot of years in between here and there, and maybe they didn't get the right instruction. Rocker Alf says, hello there. How are you, man? I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Howdy, my name's Dave. I'm a woodturner. I'm sorry you caught the very tail end of the broadcast, but I broadcast Tuesdays and Wednesday evenings, 8 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. So we'll be back tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock. Please stop by. I'm not quite sure what I'm turning yet tomorrow, but I've got a couple of pieces of wood to either side of me ready to go. I got one that's going to be a box, one that's going to be a bowl. There's a birdhouse over here. So I don't know what I'll pick up tomorrow. I was doing tops today. I'll pick up one of those tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe I'll even do more tops tomorrow. I have no idea. It just depends on what's kind of floating through my head tomorrow because I don't have any solid plans for tomorrow's broadcast. But thank you for stopping by. Really, really great to see you. I hope to see you again. And for everyone else, again, thank you for stopping by. I
Rocker
hope to
Al
see you
said,
again.
nice man, I'm just chilling drinking a brand new soda.
Nice, nice, nice. Actually, I'm gonna finally eat dinner. I think here in about half an hour. Um, oh, that might be part of the problem too. I haven't eaten today. That might be part of why I'm kind of fading. So maybe I should do that. Anyway, thanks again for all the support and the follows and all that stuff. I really enjoy the interaction in chat. I'm always happy to answer any questions that I can. If you see me do something, some technique, and you don't understand it, feel free to throw it out in chat. Hey, what did you do? How did you do that? I'll be happy to show you. This whole channel is entirely based around education and fun, wood turning, trying to pass on as much as I can, get people interested. Trying to drum up business too. Why not? I'm more than happy to teach people too. But it's to get this out there and say, yes, you can do this. This is not impossible. It looks wild sometimes, but it's not impossible. You just have to work your way into it. And that's all there is to it. If I can do it, I figure you can do it too. Pretty simple in my head. So, yes, excellent. Time to wrap up the broadcast. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you all stay friendly. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And I hope to see you tomorrow night, 8 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. I'll be right back here. Thanks a lot, folks. Good night. See you tomorrow.